take a deep breath in with me. I've been trying to work on breathing. I feel like it really opens up my heart. And I've also been trying to live with an open heart, which is not easy. It's very human of us to want to protect ourselves, and in doing that, we close our heart off. I think it's important to know when and where it's safe to have an open heart, because it's not always safe to have an open heart. But if you're always closed off, then you are disconnecting from yourself. And how are we supposed to learn and grow and heal if we're not connected with ourselves and with our emotions and with our body? For a long time, I had my heart closed off, and I was a very, very insecure person, and I didn't love myself. I didn't value myself. I didn't feel worth it. I didn't care about myself. And it all stemmed from pain that I felt. The pain I felt came from relationships that I had in my life that were unhealthy. And so I think in middle school is when I first started to close things off within myself. And then I started to heal a little bit from that. And then another thing happened, and I was right back where I was, but even worse, because it had happened again, and it reinforced the fear that I had. And until I moved into a different environment, so I was in high school when I was like completely closed off. And then I went to college, and it was a whole new environment, all new people, and it was a fresh start. And I think that really made me feel safe enough to be like, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm not around those people that hurt me. And so I'm just going to do my thing. And then I had a day so after I left a really unhealthy relationship, I wouldn't say it was toxic, but it just wasn't healthy. After I left that relationship, something changed. I went through a healing period, probably took me about 2 weeks, and this is different for everybody. But after those 2 weeks, something changed in me, and I felt my walls start to break down. All the goals that I had for myself and wanted for myself started to unfold, and it was happening so fast at this time of my life. And I don't know if it was the relationship or if it was me being closed off in that relationship. But then when I was free of that relationship, I also was free within myself, because then I didn't have any expectations that I was living up to, just me. It was just me. And I think that's when I really started to develop this relationship with myself. And it happened so fast when I felt the change, and it was insane. And I'd never felt growth like this before, or I didn't believe in manifestation up until that time of my life, because it never worked for me. But I wasn't doing it right because my heart was closed. So I couldn't manifest anything because there was no energetic flow. I was closed off. I was closed off from myself, from the world, from attraction of good energy, good vibration. And when this happened, it was just this realization that everything was going to be okay, and that my life was going to work out. No matter what happened, it was going to work out. And I believe that. I don't care if it's delusional or what. I don't care, because the most successful people are the most fucking delusional people you will ever meet. But yeah, I had the realization that everything was going to be okay, even if things were hard. So what happened was I quit my bad habits, and I started going to the gym every day. And I really think that is what initially led me to building a really strong and healthy relationship with myself at that time, because I started choosing me, and I was doing good things for my body and therefore my soul and my heart and everything. I was healing quietly and slowly, I was also tapping into gratitude. that gratitude was really big in that part of my life. So I was really grateful for the good and the bad and everything that had happened in my life, because it all brought me to that time in that moment of change and of growth. Like, I try not to regret anything that happens because it's all for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason. The good and the bad, even if it's horrible, I think it happens for a reason. And since that time in my life, I have continued to heal from the pain. And right now I feel very open and connected with myself and my journey, hence this YouTube channel, you know? Like, it was the healing also, like, let me just say, the healing was not easy and it was not consistent. I mean, I would have weeks or even I would have a month where I felt like I was taking steps backwards, but then I would start to like get back into it, and it was like I had a new level of growth. Once after that retraction, I would like bloom again, and it was just like another level up. So I think growth is just really weird in that way. Having faith in your journey, having faith in myself and my journey, that was the biggest part of me growing, even in those diluted phases, I guess. Moving from the heart, that means choosing peace, your own peace, over the approval of others. So like that was a big thing too, was like when I stopped caring about what other people wanted from me and started doing everything for myself and what I wanted for myself and what I knew was best for me to find peace. It wasn't about happiness for me. It was never about happiness. It was always about peace. Because for me, what I think peace is being content with who you are, where you are in life, and what has happened in life, and being at peace with that. Happiness comes and goes, but peace is a very stable emotion. And so that's why peace is my goal, not happiness. And happiness comes with peace. So moving from your heart also means trusting your intuition, even when it doesn't make sense. And that's a hard one, because we're taught in society not to trust our intuition. We're just taught to second guess ourselves in life. Yeah, trusting our intuition, even when it doesn't make sense. And I've been trying to do this in small ways. It's like if I'm doing Quizlets or flashcards or like little quizzes, I'll be like, when I'm unsure, I'll put my first answer that comes to mind and comes to my heart. And I'm like, I'm gonna put that down. And literally every time I doubt myself, I'm wrong. Every time I don't doubt myself and just go with it, I'm right. And that has taught me to like continue to help follow my intuition. Also, what I'll do is kind of weird, is when I'm driving, I try to see and use my intuition to see if the car in front of me is going to turn. And I'm like, yeah, that car's going to turn. I know it's going to turn. I know it's going to turn. It's going to turn right there. And it does. It doesn't work every time, but like I feel like it's a good one, and it really like helps you build that like intuitive trust with yourself. But yeah, our heart is a compass, and it's quiet, but it's always right. It's not easy though. Like I said earlier, it's not easy. The world teaches us to protect ourselves, to analyze, and to perform. And protecting yourself too much can turn into disconnection from yourself and your power. We get scared to feel deeply because it makes us vulnerable. But vulnerability is courage. Vulnerability is strength. And vulnerability makes us real and open. It is still important to be careful with who you are vulnerable around, and because there are people that will take advantage of our vulnerability. So you have to be very aware of who those people are. And that's where trusting your gut and your intuition about people matters. If you have a bad feeling about a person, be very careful around that person. Very careful. I've never been wrong about a person that I've had a bad gut feeling about. Never. So trust that shit. Trust it. Like, one thing I like to go off of, if you wouldn't trust their advice, don't trust them with your vulnerability. Don't give them access to your power, because vulnerability holds a lot of power. So be careful with that. And also, if you feel like somebody is draining you, then they probably are feeding off of your power, and you need to reclaim all that energy back to yourself. Because there are people that don't know how to access their own power, and they are closed off, and they see you with your heart open and your power in full effect, and they want that, so they just try and suck it all away from you because they want it. And I've had people in my life who are like that, and they were out of my life pretty fast because whether it was like my choice or not, which in one case like it wasn't my choice, they were just actually horrible. But I think they were feeding off of a lot of other people too. Like, it wasn't just me. But when you feel like drained, so like if you hang out with somebody and then after you feel really drained, they are taking energy from you. If you hang out with somebody and you feel energized after, or you feel really happy, or you feel lighter, that person, I think, is also open, and also I think your power, each of your powers are maximizing. So I have a friend, and every time that me and her hang out, I feel so much love, and I feel so open, and I feel so energized, and I feel powerful, and I know she feels the same way, and I love her so, so much. And that is somebody that you can trust with access to your own vulnerability. And creating a safe space for them to also be vulnerable is important too. But yeah, that's how you know you have a good friend, and that's how you know it's somebody you can trust to be vulnerable with. If you feel really energized by them, if you feel like your perspective on life has opened up, if they're making those impacts in your life, they are a person you can trust. When you start speaking and moving from the heart and stop chasing alignment, you become alignment. So conversations, they'll feel lighter, decisions feel a little easier. You attract people and experiences that match your energy, not your image, your energy. Energy is everything. Everything. We are energy. Energy is literally everywhere, and energy holds frequency. Feelings also hold a frequency. So like a happier feeling is a higher frequency than a negative feeling is a lower frequency. So when you are feeling really happy, you're vibrating at a higher frequency, and then the universe reflects that back to you. Everything we do and everything we think is a reflection of the universe. So when you're constantly like, oh, my life sucks, everything sucks, I hate everything, like everything bad happens to me, well, that is exactly what's going to happen, because that's what you're looking for, and the universe reflects it back. But when you're like, I am so grateful for everything in my life, I have amazing people in my life, everything happens for a reason, for my best and highest self, and my life is amazing, that is what you're going to see in your life. It is all mindset, and it is all energy. And when you have that positive mindset, people and experiences match that. It reflects back to you. And like, I see this every single day because I've lived in a negative frequency and I'm living right now in a high frequency. And I have had so many blessings come into my life since I started living that higher frequency. This is manifestation. And like I said, I didn't believe it for a long time until I started moving from the heart. And everything I manifest with an open heart comes my way without fail. Without fail. Everything. And the right things come naturally when you're rooted in honesty and love and an open heart. Yeah, like this YouTube channel. Like, I don't think I would have been able to do this if my heart wasn't open, you know? This is me living completely and honestly with myself. And yeah, I'm gonna say some affirmations that I feel open the heart up. So I'm trying to say these every morning and night, so you can say them with me. Life is going to work out perfectly for me. All the right things are going to happen to me in my life. All the right people will enter my life, and all the wrong people will exit my life. I will have a beautiful home throughout my life. I will have an amazing career throughout my life. I will wake up every day next to the love of my life. I will have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays and vacations throughout my life. I will travel and see the world. I will meet incredible people in my life who will help me, and people I will be able to help in unbelievable ways. I will be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for my ability to help others. My life is going to work out perfectly. And when I'm saying these, I have no doubt in my mind that these things will happen. They will, and some of them are already in effect. I think in one way, to me, I already feel like my YouTube is successful because it is in complete alignment with who I am as a person. And who I am as a person, well, one aspect of me is my need and want to help others. And this is my way of helping others, is using my voice and my knowledge to help others. And you're like, of course, I'm still learning. And like, this is honestly probably like a very, very small, minuscule beginning of my journey. But there is still so much that I'm learning right now and that I can share. And my voice holds power. All of our voices hold power. And so this is my way of using my power for good and using my power to help people who need it. And honestly, I think it's helping me too. So yeah, I'm just like really happy with everything that's happening in my life right now. And you can get there too. I also recommend meditating. I don't like sit down and meditate, but when I'm going to sleep is when I meditate, which is, I don't know if that's like how you're supposed to do it, but it works for me. So what I do is like I'll lay down on my back and I'll like put my hands on my heart or on my stomach or chest, or I'll just lay them flat out, like just flat down. But whatever is like comfortable, get really comfortable, and then I try to be completely still and see how long I can go without moving. But in that time, I'm breathing very deeply and slowly, in and out, in through my nose, out through my mouth, and just going down and recognizing every part of my body and the energy that flows through. And I start with my head, and I go down through my face, through my neck, through my chest and shoulders. I recognize my heart. I try to imagine my heart beating, and usually I think of it as like pink in the middle and then yellow on the outsides, and it's like glowing. And then I continue to just go down and feel like each region of my body and the energy flowing through it, through my heart, because our heart is pumping blood throughout our whole body. And so it's pumping that energy throughout our whole body. And then once I get down to my toes, which sometimes I fall asleep before I get there, but if I do, then I'll like start up at the top again. Sometimes I do start at my toes, but I'll start at the top again, and I just imagine like a light shining down as I go through each part. So like here is lit up above my hands. It's like lit up, light, like I'm lighting up as it goes down, which is like, I don't know, I feel really at peace when I do that. Anyways, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed. Comment one affirmation you're gonna say to yourself. You can comment one that I've already said, or you can make your own. I challenge you to make your own comment, because I want more affirmations from people that I can incorporate into my life. So if you have an affirmation that you really, really like or can come up with, then like let me know, because I need more. So yeah, thank you. And thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and follow me, and also turn on post notifications. Yeah, and like this video. Thanks.